if you're terrible at something, don't do it. Really, if you can focus on what you're strong at and then be willing to relinquish what you're not and understand that you don't have to do it all.
Let's give the people some nuts and bolts tactics here. What are some of the best business things that you've learned along the way to not only be successful, be able to build these businesses and be financially free, but also to be able to free up your time? What would you say to that?
Obviously, there's many different directions we can take this. And I think that the first thing I want to say is to put a huge asterisk over my business success. And that's to say that there's so much that I don't know. There's so much that appears to be luck. There's so much that appears to be lucky or appears to be right place, right time, whatever it may be. And there's a ton of stuff in business that I'm just terrible at. And I think that one of the best things I can leave you with and the listeners with is if you're terrible at something, don't do it. I had a conversation just this morning and the guy was like, man, I want to be a really good leader. Right now I'm a great operator, but I want to be a visionary. And I was like, why? Great operators are the hardest thing in the world to find. It's the number one position I've hired for over and fired for, because when it's not a perfect fit, it's not a perfect fit. And it's really hard to find the right person. And sometimes it's just the right person for right now, right? So finding an operator is brilliant, but really if you can focus on what you're strong at and then be willing to relinquish what you're not and understand that you don't have to do it all. The book, The E-Myth, deeply, it was probably my first introduction to this over 25 years ago. This idea that we have all these different hats to wear, but if we can relinquish the hats, we can actually wear the one we want. These different books that we can use to help us better refine who we are and where our sense of strength and power is are really crucial. And, we're all in front row dads together, so we have this baseline, but the reality is we start with us first. If we can work on who we are, to sit in presence with us, to overcome our fears, to look at our demons, and then to be who we're meant to be on the other side, that's where we can start to bring the value to our families. That's where we start to bring our value to our businesses. So one of the lines I used to, many lifetimes ago, I had an internet marketing business and I would speak on stage and sell courses and all these different things. And I was, I think, 15 or 16 years old when I did my first speech. And as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid who's 6'4" and 120 pounds, you have to imagine that you kind of catalog any wins, right? Like you get a good joke in, you're going to remember that joke for life. So I did. All right. I used to say out from stage that internet marketing is the only business in the world. And it's not actually true. It's the only business in the world where you work 95 hours a week to make money while you sleep. And that's the truth. As entrepreneurs, we have the incredible freedom of time to choose whatever 100 hours a week we want to work. And most people don't get that. If you haven't started a business, you're still on a W-2, understanding the amount of front-loaded work